Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark and Sarah today. Pam's away, and she may not be joining us for a while. She quit. We're too much for her.
Pam's going to be our wacky neighbor.
She is going to be our wacky.
She'll pop in and out from time to time here and there. And
I'm looking forward to it.
I like having her here. But she'll show up on Tasting Tales Day.
Of course. I think it might have had something to do with our big fight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, our blowout.
She's like...
Is that the biggest fight we've ever had?
I think so. She's like, I can't take much more of this. I can't take these two. They're too weird for me.
These two giving each other sharp looks from across the table.
That's right. Yeah, I don't want to be in the middle of this. Ugh. I'll close that door from the outside. We are covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
Today's show is brought to you by United Piping, serving residential and commercial customers with new installations and repairs. Call today and schedule your oil and gas boiler cleanings at 754-4556. UPI, the best plumbers around. Also brought to you by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it. At 5 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com. And remember, the party starts at Ruper's.
We have the pleasure of being joined in studio today by the executive producer for Praxis Motion Pictures, Colby Michaud. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing very well. How are you?
Excellent. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to have a whole lot of fun. We're going to learn all about Praxis Motion Pictures and a show you have coming up as well, right?
That's right.
All right. Sounds good. Before we get there, we're going to take a look at some headlines for Wednesday, May 21st.
U.S. Representative Jared Golden officially announced his re-election bid in Maine's 2nd Congressional District. The 42-year-old Lewiston native has served 4 consecutive terms and will likely face his toughest challenge from former Maine Governor Paul LePage.
After operating for 26 years as St. Mary's Nutrition Center, the center has rebranded as Gather to Grow and is now operating as an independent organization. Gather to Grow is passionate about food justice, youth empowerment, and community building in L.A. The Lewiston-Auburn Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce will serve as their fiscal sponsor and help manage some behind-the-scenes work. You can learn more at gathertogrowmaine.org.
And speaking of the Chamber, the LA Metro Chamber Annual Awards are tomorrow afternoon. Award recipients include Alyssa Roman from Lewiston Public Schools, Scott Riccio from Northeast Charter and Tour, Justin and Sam Jaray from Just in Time Recreation, Susan Longchamp from Webb's Market, and our very own Pam Ashby. Yay! From Lydia Media. You can learn more and get tickets at lametrochamber.com.
Colby, what do you think of our studio audience here? Pretty good. They're an enthusiastic group.
I didn't expect so many people.
Yeah, well, here they are.
Rowdy bunch.
I didn't tell you about the studio audience. I didn't want to scare you away, but yeah, they're here, and they're something.
I like their energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they bring it.
And sadly, actor George Wendt, who played Norm Peterson on Cheers, died yesterday morning. Wendt's career spanned 6 decades, including 6 consecutive Emmy nominations for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series. His family said George died peacefully in his sleep. He was 76 years old.
That's the way to go, huh? Sign me up. Hey, want to talk about the weather?
I kind of do want to talk about the weather.
Okay.
All right.
Rain or shine, it's all okay. Grab your uke and start the day. Clouds may come or skies turn blue. Weather's fun with me and you. The sun is bright and storms may brew. Every day's a brand new view. You don't need perfect skies above. Hey, just a song and a little love.
Could you hear it, Sarah? Could you hear that audible smile in your voice?
Yes, so that was probably me thinking, thank God this is almost over. In today's weather, we're going to have some clouds with a high of 56 and a low of 43. And again, cloudy tomorrow with some evening showers. We'll have a high of around 52 and a low of 43. Rain on Friday with highs in the upper 40s.
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 That's where we're at now.
We're
approaching the end of May.
I have turned the heat back on in my house.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Good times.
We can't just get by with sweatshirts anymore.
No.
It's silly.
In sports, Carlos Narvaez and Rafael Devers homered, and the Red Sox bullpen pitched 6 2/3 innings of shutout relief in a 2-0 win over the New York Mets. Starting pitcher Walker Buehler was ejected in the 3rd inning for arguing balls and strikes. Sox manager Alex Cora was also ejected.
Got rowdy.
There was something last night. The umpire, I don't know if he forgot his glasses or what happened.
Oh,
But he was horrible. They'll play again tonight at 6:45 at Fenway Park with Garrett Crochet on the bump for Boston.
Anytime I hear his name, I think of him wearing a little knitted, like crocheted baseball glove. And NFL owners voted to permit players to participate in flag football in the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. The league will vote on the controversial tush push play this afternoon. What is a tush push in quotations, Mark?
Colby, are you familiar with the tush push in football?
The first time I've heard that term.
Okay, so it's a short yardage play. So when it's like 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, the center will snap the ball to the quarterback, and the quarterback will have a couple of running backs behind him. Well, the running backs come up, and they just push the quarterback, and they try to push him through the offensive line to get the first down. It originated in Philadelphia, and they called it, you'll love this, Sarah, the brotherly shove. That is your news, weather, and sports. And right now it is time for the podcast segment that is sweeping the Twin Cities. It's time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
Colby brought a ukulele in today.
That's me. I did that.
That's all Sarah.
After you asked me that, I'm like, oh, there's one over there too.
Yeah, we have a studio uke.
Maybe you guys can put on a show later.
Maybe we could together. Yeah.
Even now that he's seen the level of my talent, he might be like,
Actor Judge Reinhold is 68 years old today. You remember him from Fast Times at Ridgemont High back in 82. He also played one of the cops in Beverly Hills Cop.
yeah, he had a lot of guns in that movie.
He did.
In the second movie, they go to his house, and it's just like he has this whole armory. You're like, wait, what?
Mr. T, 73 years old today.
Aww.
Actor and retired professional wrestler, also known as Clubber Lang in Rocky III.
That's right.
That's right.
Pity the fool who doesn't wish him a happy birthday today.
There you go. Also, B.A. Baracus in the A-Team. Right?
Do you remember he was afraid of flying and they'd have to drug him every time they needed to go somewhere? Like without him knowing. It's like, that's so terrible. Just drug him. Put it in his ice cream or something.
Put him out.
Wake up in Los Angeles when he'd been in New York the morning before.
And finally, comedian and former U.S. Senator Al Franken is 74 years old today.
Aw.
He also did some time on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
right?
he was Stuart Smalley.
That's right.
He was good enough, he was smart enough, and doggone it, people liked him.
They sure did.
They liked him enough to make him a U.S. Senator.
There you go. Those are your FPBs. Now let's move on to some OTDs.
All right.
Sarah's taking over.
26 years ago in 1999, Susan Lucci finally won a Daytime Emmy for Best Actress on her 19th nomination after losing 18 years in a row. She played Erica Kane on All My Children. Congratulations to her. I bet that felt good.
18 years.
18.
Just sitting there waiting for your name to be called.
Right? And not having it happen. 31 years ago in 1994, Marion Barry announced that he would run for mayor of Washington. That was just 3 years after serving a jail sentence for possessing and smoking crack. And he won.
Yeah.
37 years ago in 1998 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, Da Butt by EU hit number 35, and Fat by Weird Al Yankovic peaked at 99. Anything for You by Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine was number 1. 45 years ago, Star Wars fans were excited in 1980 as The Empire Strikes Back opened up in the UK and some U.S. theaters. It went on to earn more than $550 million worldwide. Is that your favorite of the Star Wars series?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mine too. Are you a Star Wars fan, Colby? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not diehard, but I do love Star Wars.
And 144 years ago, in 1881, the American Red Cross was founded by Clara Barton in Washington, D.C.
All right.
How about that? We're lucky to have the American Red Cross. That's how we all learn how to do CPR these days.
And that's where I Giving pints and pints and
You
pints.
give blood. That's right.
Those are your FPBs and OTDs for May the 21st.
Whether you want a sit-down meal or a grab-and-go, Pat's Pizza in Auburn offers delicious sandwiches, pasta, salads, and pizza at family-friendly prices. Pat's Pizza, serving the L.A. area since 1985. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 85 Center Street in Auburn. Online at patsauburn.com.
Now we shift focus fully to our guest in studio, Colby Michaud, executive producer for Praxis Motion Pictures. And Colby, before we get into the big event, let's talk about what Praxis Motion Pictures is.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me. So Praxis actually is a business, my business that I've run for almost 15 years. We started in Lewiston, and we were in Lewiston as Praxis Production Studios, and for the first 7 years of its life. What we did here in Lewiston, Auburn was short form video content, and this is back in the day where, like, right before social media really started to pick up, and like you needed to have video content to be relevant. At the time, it was kind of a novelty, and we were at the forefront of that. We didn't know when we started the company what we were going to do with it. We actually wanted to start a local real estate TV show, and it was really hard to get that off the ground, so we quickly pivoted to doing short form content for other real estate professionals in this area. And then that just kind of evolved into other businesses, local banks, and really anything we could get. We had our first office on Webster Street, on the corner of East Avenue and Webster Street, and we loved that space for, I think, 4 years. Then we moved downtown Lewiston at Carl Schaline's building, the Moonco co-working space, and that served us really well. I thought it would be important to try to make the jump down to Southern Maine, so we found a space on the peninsula in Portland. In hindsight, I probably wouldn't have made that jump now, but it was a good learning experience to be down in the city, and that was only a year. And then we went to South Portland because we couldn't handle not having parking lot, not having dedicated parking.
Right.
That was really difficult. And then it was in Yarmouth for the last almost 4 years, and we're just now coming back to Auburn. So
You're leaving your Auburn your
Yarmouth and just relocated to Auburn. Cool. So we're back in this community, and part of that is just because of this this show that I'm doing with CLT and all my connections that I've had here for like the last 10 to 15 years.
What inspired you to get into this industry?
It was actually kind of out of necessity. I've always been a very creative person, and when I was in middle school, I joined the band. My dad was in the military, so we lived in a lot of different places growing up. And at the time, we were in Texas, and I joined marching band as a drummer, and that was really fun because Texas in high school football in Texas is a huge deal, and so that was like you're on a huge stage, and it was really important to be in the band, and it was cool and fun. And I also at the same time started playing with cameras, and I remember making home videos and learning how to shoot something, but also to how to edit that and put it together in something that's cohesive. My dad retired from the Air Force in 2005, and then we moved back to Maine. This is where our family's from. And I went to Oak Hill High School, graduated from there. The natural thing for me to do was to go into a new media program at University of Maine, because I didn't know what else I would do. I didn't have any other interests other than to be creative at the time, and definitely didn't think I was going to start a business. But my sister is a year older than me, and she went to UMaine. That was also a pretty big factor, just to follow my sister up there. So I went for 2 years in the new media program, which was for them also very new. So I'm learning things like Photoshop, and I'm taking art history classes, and a lot of the things that they were teaching me from a technical point of view, I had already taught myself. So it felt like, why am I doing this? And frankly, I wasn't the best student, not very studious. I had a great time, very
Don't get me wrong, it was great.
Being at like hockey games and football games are the best, and we do miss that time a little bit. But so after my second year, I decided that I needed to either take a break or figure out something else. So just so happened that summer I met this guy named Chad Sylvester from Sabatis, the same hometown. He was looking to start a business, a video business, and he's a real estate professional, and he wanted somebody who knew how to shoot a video but also how to edit. My uncle connected us, and we met at the Dunkin' Donuts, and I showed him my portfolio, which at the time was just silly videos of my friends from high school. But he thought they were cool and showed some potential. So we hit it off, and we started Praxis.
Nice.
That summer, yeah. And I've just been doing that ever since, really. I definitely have my style. I'm trying to be open-minded about the latest trends in, especially on social media and just like in pop culture in general. And sometimes I fight against the latest trends, and I try to stick to my guns, but sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and adapt.
How would you explain your style?
Very narratively driven. Because I'm a musician, I actually edit. Here's a little secret. I find my music first, and then I edit to the music. I've always been especially like when we were talking about Star Wars, John Williams, the composer.
So good.
His music is so narratively driven that you can close your eyes and you can understand what's going on in the story without having to watch. I guess I just had a natural inclination to that kind of music. And so when I'm putting together videos, I've always just found it's easier for me to listen to the music and be like, oh, that's where that feels like we need to have a cut there. Or you can just go by the beat if it's something upbeat. But
Yeah, I bet a lot of people don't edit that way.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the movie The Princess Bride?
I saw it in pieces.
In pieces.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend that you watch the whole movie. Mark Knopfler did the music for it. And he did the opposite of what you're talking about. As he watched the movie, he wrote the music to go along with whatever they were doing on screen. So like their fight scenes and everything, he was watching them, writing the music as he was watching. And so the music matches up with the strikes of their swords and all this other. It's a really interesting, like if you take that out and you watch the movie from that perspective, it's really interesting to focus on the music. And Mark Knopfler's just freaking amazing.
Sure is.
I studied, not like officially, I didn't go to school for this, but I've studied over the years film scoring, because when I was in high school, that was that's going to be my dream job. And obviously I haven't gone to Hollywood or anything, but I have scored a few films over the years, and it's a very interesting and different process than you might expect. Like you're saying, you're watching and you're looking and you're doing like what's called a spotting session, and usually sit with the director and watch the film. In this case, I'm scoring my own films because it's easy to get a job if you're the one that's hiring for it. Yeah, so
that's how I got the job for writing famous people birthdays.
But you have to. I think a composer for a film has a very important responsibility. As a viewer, you're not paying attention, or you shouldn't be paying attention.
It
should just feel like, because music is so true and pure in its nature, so it should just be as close to what the story is trying to tell you as possible. And when you're talking about like an action scene or a fight scene, it's cool when you can sync up the hits of a sword and or punches or hits, and because if you don't, then it's going to stand out.
Sure.
And it's going to clash.
Like kind of disjointed.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you able to enjoy movies, or do you critique all the way through?
I mean, I do. I do love movies. That's why. So the Lord of the Rings franchise was pivotal for me, because I was like 13 or 14 when I saw those, or for the first time. And I watched, back then when there were DVDs, we had the box set, they used to come with 9 discs and all the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It was like 9 hours of making of specials, and I watched all of them multiple times, memorized them, and what a great insight into how to make a film. Yeah. And I was like, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to be on a movie set. I have, especially when you're young, you have so many ideas and your imagination is just wild. And the family aspect, of the camaraderie of the entire cast and crew, I wanted that. And I've gotten, glimpses of that in real life over the years, but nothing a major, big movie like that.
Someday.
Maybe.
Someday. So let's talk Keep Singing.
Yeah.
What is that all
I
about?
haven't heard anything about this.
Good thing I'm here.
Yeah, I know.
So Keep Singing is a showcase of short original musicals that my writing partner, Linda Hilden, and I have written 2 years ago. We did it as kind of like a pilot project to see if we could actually write and direct and produce our own original show. Because we did it for the first time 2 years ago, we did it in a very small theater in Yarmouth, the Royal River Playhouse.
Oh my gosh.
On Route 1.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a black box theater.
Yeah.
There are no set chairs, so we just brought in chairs, and we think we were able to fit like 40 chairs. We had 3 shows. We sold out each of those shows, so we had about 120 people come and see it, and we had great reception. We had a lot of fun putting it together. I've been connected with Danielle Eaton for a long time. Actually, she's
fantastic.
Yeah, she's very involved in the arts community here. She was just in a film of ours called With Grace that we did. We shot it last summer and we premiered it in January of this year. And she had just recently moved into the president role at Community Little Theater in Auburn. During the production of the film, she had approached Linda about, hey, now that I'm
In
the
charge?
new, I'm like, I got some ideas, and I think it'd be really cool if you took Keep Singing. And she actually was in the original version.
Oh, okay.
She said, what if we brought it to Auburn and we put it up on a bigger stage with a bigger audience? To be honest with you, I was apprehensive at the time because it's an immense amount of work to do something like this, and then to like scale it up. It's like, I don't know how we can pull this off, but I thought about it, and actually the thing that made the difference was the first time we did it, I was the music director in the sense of that I was actually playing the music in the show, and I had a very small band that was with me. So I never got to experience, like, just to like sit back and watch the show, and it just felt like it was so much responsibility to do that, and I wanted a break from that. So the difference for me to agree to this was that we contacted John Neal, who was my former music teacher in high school at Oak Hill, and he agreed to be pianist in this version. And I was like, well, that's sort of a dream come true for me to be able to work with my former teacher, the best teacher I've ever had. I've learned a lot from him. He's a mentor, and it would be such an honor for him to play in the show that I wrote. So he agreed to it, and then I'm like, oh, well, we have to do it now. So, so Keep Singing. It's complicated as a couples therapy session that goes awry when the therapist brings out a very special guitar.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so that's a classic comedy.
Yeah.
And that one actually stars Toni Morin, Heather Marischal, and Alan McLucas. And we were just actually there last night. I was telling you we were on the stage for the first time, and the chemistry between those 3 are amazing.
How many short shows are in the one show?
3.
3?
Yep.
And they're all about the same length, 20 minutes?
Well, so the next one is called Chasing James, and that one is more of like a classic Broadway style, has the most amount of music, the most scenes. In Chasing James, Brody is a coffee shop owner who earnestly attempts to help his best friend stop making the same old mistakes in his quest to find true love.
Aw.
And in that show, by necessity, I am starring as James.
Oh, by necessity?
Yeah. It wasn't by choice. I'm the last resort.
Oh, no.
So we just had a really hard time casting for that role in particular. And we had a few people that were interested, and then they kind of backed out due to, time commitments and other things. But which we understand, life happens. And
Sure.
This is, after all, community theater, and it's a fully volunteer,
Right.
thing.
Everybody has jobs.
Everybody has another life. So
Yeah.
I get it. In the final show, it's called Home Again, and that's about a woman who grapples with making a decision that may lead her to never seeing her father again.
Ooh.
And it takes place in a senior care living, or a man with her father has pretty severe dementia. and to the point where he's catatonic. And so he can no longer speak to her or really move physically. So what we can do with that is, because it's a musical, we use the power of music to help tell and translate messages. And it's a very heartwarming and bittersweet piece.
That sounds interesting. And a little sad.
It's a little bit sad, but hopefully people will leave the theater feeling hopeful.
Heartwarming is a better way of
Touched.
saying it. Yeah.
The reason we called it Keep Singing is because actually in Home Again, there's a song called Keep Singing, and its message is all about follow your dreams, continue to fight for what you believe in.
Nice.
Yeah, never give up.
Very cool. And you wrote all of the music along with your writing partner, Linda?
Yes. Yeah, Linda and I co-wrote all of the music and lyrics for all 3 shows. And I just want to, give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Andwell Health Partners, who I personally have a great working relationship with my business, Praxis Motion Pictures. I've worked with them for years now on various films and short films and videos for them. It's really humbling for them and I'm honored that they're willing to support another project in a different way, but the tie is really strong with them. And then Dubois Realty Group as well.
They're great.
I've worked with them for years too, and I've known Marnie and Brian for forever, and they've always been such a huge supporter, especially of community little theater.
Oh, yeah.
So it's great to have them both.
And when is Keep Singing, when does it premiere?
We open June 6th, and that is a Friday. June 6th at 7:30, and then following night, June 7th, Saturday at 7:30. We have a Sunday matinee that starts at 2 o'clock. Then we do the same thing the following weekend. Yeah. So we have a total of 6 shows that were 6 performances. So 6 opportunities to come and see it.
This is not a family-friendly show, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not, I would say if you were to try to rate it, if it was a movie, it would be like PG-13. But, we're trying to, with the branding it looks like
the sparkly poster
I know,
and
it's
all
like
the colors.
Kids would want to come see it, but small children would probably not.
Adult content.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And you can get tickets at laclt.com.
laclt.com. Yes. If you go there right now, you can actually see it's, as soon as you go on the homepage, you'll see the poster.
Yep. A little rundown of what's going on, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the countdown is on.
Yeah.
Exciting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, we're in the rehearsals almost every night now. So, yeah.
So how are you feeling right about now?
I'm fine. I should be nervous. Like I get little spouts of nerves. So this is my acting debut, and that's scary.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what to do because I've never. You can practice and practice, but I don't know what to expect when I actually go out there and there's an audience.
Right.
Like, is that am I gonna lose everything? I'm gonna go blank.
Yeah.
Or will I have just done it so well and that I'm so familiar with the cast and that you don't even think about it. You just go. Hopefully that's what happens.
Muscle memory
Yeah.
for you.
We'll see. Yeah.
Thank you.
I see that your co-actors are Gregory Judd and Elena Hubble for Chasing James. Having worked with Greg before, I can tell you he won't let you fail. You'll be all right.
Oh man, working with Gregory has been a joy.
He's amazing.
He is such an amazing person, but his acting chops, and he's such a beautiful singing voice, which you get to hear.
Right?
So, the tone is so smooth and lovely.
He's underappreciated as an actor, I think.
I am definitely going to have to lean on him for some moral support.
He's great. Yeah. Yep.
I'd also want to mention that Keep Singing is actually a fundraiser for Community Little Theater. Oh. So all the proceeds that we're selling from the tickets are going directly back to CLT.
That's great.
Good stuff.
Support your arts in your community.
Arts, yes. Yeah. It's important.
Curious where the name Praxis came from.
Yes. So Chad and I, my co-founder, when we decided we're going to start a video company, what are we going to call it? He was stuck on Nike because it's such a famous brand and he loved the story that it's Nike is the Greek god for victory, and so he wanted to go Greek. So I just Googled, give me a list of Greek names, and we just went down the list alphabetically, and then I saw, when Praxis, it stood out, and we're like, oh, it translates to loosely mean, having a practical, pragmatic approach. Yeah. It's like, oh, we could get behind that philosophy, so that's why we chose that.
What are you most proud of in your film career so far, Colby?
Ooh.
I didn't ask. Don't look.
That's a tough question.
We don't throw softballs over here. We dig deep.
I'm most proud of the relationships that I've been able to develop. I was originally thinking, what particular project? But the reason we do this is because we love what we do. And you do anything creative, you do it because you love to. And for some people, it's a necessity. I know it is for me. If I can't create something and I go for a long time not being able to express myself that way, it's not good. So, but in the pursuit of that, you work with other like-minded people and you develop really close relationships with them, and some of them turn into lifelong friends. So that's what I'm most proud of.
I can't help but notice that you brought your ukulele. So did you want to play something or sing for us?
I haven't warmed up, and
this is a beautiful ukulele.
I wish people could see this.
We'll take a
when I found it. When I saw it in the store, I'm like, oh, I have to have it.
Yeah, we'll take a photo because people need to see.
What do you think of when you see this?
I think of a violin. It looks like a violin to me, but also Elvis, like Elvis's violin.
To me, it's like the retro, the vibe, the 50s sort of 60s vibe.
It's awesome.
Which actually lends itself well to one of the songs that I can play for you if you want. In the show, there's no ukulele.
Okay. Just so you know.
Just so you know.
Well, why not?
Yeah.
There should be a ukulele in everything.
We're going to make a change. Yeah.
Sarah's like, not
Rewrite
interested.
Not going.
Yeah.
I'll still go.
Are you going to go? Are you going to go see it?
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure I'm free one of those dates, so I'll definitely come see it.
All right. I'm going to try to do a song from Chasing James.
All right.
Because that's the one I know the best.
Yeah. If it's horrible, we won't use it.
It might be horrible.
And it's okay.
It's not going to be horrible.
Yeah. I think it's going to be great, though.
Because I haven't done this like this before. But
you wrote it, so.
I did.
But you know what? I wrote the music for famous people's birthdays. And, so we can't do that again.
Just for a little bit of context.
Okay.
This is in the beginning of the show. And this is James comes out and he goes. The whole show takes place in a coffee shop, which his best friend Brody runs. James is what you might call a hopeless romantic. And he's been searching and looking for the love of his life for a long time. He's failed a few times, but he won't give up. And he's really excited because he just downloaded a brand new dating app called Flirt. And he's like, Brody, I need your help with writing my profile. And Brody's very reluctant because he's like, man, you've been doing this, like you're doing the same thing over and over again. It's not about the app or the women on the app. It's you are the problem. But James is, he's a very happy-go-lucky, and I'll just try to read you or sing you this as best I can. So this is how we kind of open that show.
Okay.
Oh boy. I'm just a guy looking to start. I'm just a guy looking to start my journey of 1,000 miles. Got a good soul, got a great heart, and I've been told that I have a nice smile. But there's a voice whispering that there's something missing. Says, James, find someone of your own. Don't squander your fate, or you and your dream date will both find your way home. So what do I say? What do I tell her about me to show her it's fake? And that she can live without me. So what to confide and what do I hide? I just want the search over which stories to tell to help weave my spell. You know me best, so show her all about me. Thanks.
Yay!
Wow, the crowd goes wild.
They are
Wild.
There's
enthusiastic.
so many of them.
And so there's no ukulele in the show, so you just did that
No.
on the fly.
Yeah.
And you have a full band supporting you for this.
Small band. but
Small
yes.
bands,
Yeah,
yeah,
there'll be
yeah.
so it's all live. Mm-hmm. We're all all the music is live, and we've got live musicians, and that's
gonna be
really
great.
fun and exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. So you get to experience this for the first time
Yeah.
in it, on the stage.
Yeah, I know.
in
That's
it. That's so cool.
yeah. I very nervous to do that, and was very reluctant to take the role because I'm so used to being behind the camera, behind the scenes, and being the orchestrator to put it all together. But to be in the spotlight is a different story. And I thought, well, if I can get rid of my ego, then I might be able to do a decent enough job in service of the story and the rest of the cast of characters. The main reason was because I think this could be a really good learning opportunity for me, as not to call myself an actor, but just a person who's involved in this industry. If I want to direct more in the future, if I want to direct films or other shows, having this experience as what it's like to be as an actor is going to be really valuable moving forward, even if I never do it again. Yeah.
You'll do it again.
Yeah, you'll catch the bug.
You'll get bitten by the bug.
And I should say that Linda, so I wrote the music, Linda wrote the lyrics and the dialogue, the words. She's a fantastic writer, especially with comedy. So if you like funny things, these shows are, at least the first two, very funny. So
Nice.
yeah, I got to say too, like, you're kind of right. Even though we're just doing these rehearsals, a few people, like, if you make a joke and you make somebody laugh, it feels really good, and you want to do more of it.
More of that,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have another song sort of prepared. I don't sing this one. This is Brody's song. It comes later, and without spoiling too much, just like everybody else who's been in the dating world, unfortunately, there's this phenomenon now called getting ghosted.
Oh.
And this song actually was the song. This original show, the original version of the show was written back in like pandemic or before pandemic days. So, and then we sat on it for a while. But this song kind of inspired the rest of it, and it's just called "Ghosted." Listen up, kid. I speak the truth. You've waited for hours, but you ain't heard boo. It's time to get up. You know you should. Deep down, I think you know that girl is gone for good. She's on to the next dude, and you're as good as dead, and now you're feeling so blue, 'cause she left you on red. You just got ghosted. You've had quite a fright. You thought she was spectacular. Now the specter part was right, and now you're ghosted. Your romance has died. Don't waste your DM. The demon won't see them on the other side. You just got ghosted.
That's my new favorite song.
Yeah, when we did it first, that was the hit. That was the crowd pleaser for sure.
Love it.
Yeah,
I can't
it's
wait.
really fun. Yeah. And I should say too, Gregory Judd is the one who does that, and he does a brilliant job of it.
Voice of an angel.
Yep,
Yep.
for sure.
Locally owned and locally focused, Lydia Media celebrates the heart of the greater Lewiston-Auburn area through two magazines, Uncle Andy's Digest and LA Metro Magazine, and the new Lydia's Lunch Bunch podcast. Each production shines a positive light on local businesses, nonprofits, events, and individuals making a difference in our community. Keep your advertising dollars local and position your business in front of your target audience with Lydia Media. Learn more at lydiamediallc.com. All right, Colby, before we get into our final segment, is there anything else about yourself or Praxis or Keep Singing that you would like our listeners to know?
If you're a fan of theater in general, you're going to find something in this that you'll hopefully like, because there is so much diversity, and the fact that we're doing 3 separate shows in one night But if you're not a regular theater goer, you'll still like it.
All right.
It's probably different than what you would expect. The writing is very tight, and it's a lot of quick banter. The pacing is really good. We have an amazing, talented cast and all local people. So, yeah, hopefully if you come opening weekend, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, maybe we got to go see it again next weekend. So tell your friends.
All right.
Yeah.
A great time for everyone 16 and over.
There you go.
Exactly. Yeah, 16 plus. Yeah, that's a good one.
All right. We like to close the show with a segment called 3 Random Questions, where we ask you questions that have nothing to do with your profession. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, how do you generate these random questions?
Oh, just they come to us.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for
In a trance.
This is our 4th year now doing random
questions.
So we have a few favorites, and sometimes they just come out of the blue. Colby, if you were isolated in a cabin for 1 month and you only had one movie to watch, what would it be?
I'm going to have to go with The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
Okay.
Specific movie, too.
Yeah.
In the middle of the series.
No, that's the last one.
That's the last one? Yeah.
Mostly because it was such a, put it on the spot, but it was.
I mean,
also, it's 3 hours long.
Yeah,
so.
That's part of it. It's like,
you just watch an hour each day.
Stretch it out, yeah.
Start over again.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many good things about that movie. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
All right.
If you could be a house pet, what animal would you choose?
Ferret, because you can get away with anything.
Because
I don't know.
Ferrets do get away with a lot.
I don't know. Have you seen Along Came Polly?
Yes.
I just watched that recently, and it's such a good movie. And that's why it's just like that image popped in my mind.
Yeah. Okay.
Final question, Colby, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Ooh.
Oh, man, I don't know.
Maybe he hasn't received it yet.
Yeah, maybe I haven't got it yet.
Maybe you haven't got it yet.
So John Neal, who's the one that's part of the show, my teacher, I don't want to say this isn't really advice, but it's something that I've never forgotten. And it could be interpreted as advice in a way. Much like the show's message of keep singing, keep going after following your dreams. In high school, he told me, music is what feelings sound like. And that just a switch went off in my brain. I'm like, oh, that makes complete sense to me. Mm-hmm. And now I understand the importance of music. It's not just enjoyment. It's therapeutic. It's a language that everyone can understand. And you can say, and for me, as a musician who's not so good at words, I can say so much more through music than I can writing it down or speaking it. So I think in a way the advice was listen to your heart and keep going after your passion.
Seems like you've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And congrats on that.
Oh, thank you.
Not
keep
a lot
trying.
of people do.
Yeah. I'll never give up.
Yeah. Colby, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Same here.
Thanks so much for your time today, and
Thanks
best
for
of luck. Wishing you a lot of full houses.
Yeah.
For, Keep Singing. He is Colby Michaud, executive producer for Praxis Motion Pictures. If you'd like more info on Keep Singing, you can go to laclt.com. And if you'd like more info on Praxis, you can go to praxismotionpictures.com. Thanks to our sponsors, Ruper's Beverage and Redemption and United Piping. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, reach out to Pam Ashby, the award-winning Pam.
Tomorrow we'll stop. Tomorrow will be the last day. We'll leave her alone after that.
I don't know.
Maybe a week more.
She's still going to be an award.
I know.
You can email Pam at lydiamediallc.com.
Have a great day. And remember, don't bite your cat.